Hi there and welcome to today's vlog. Yes, back in the study we've got the builders in, building a little extension which would give us a utility room and a small ensuite, which will be helpful, but they're outside making a bit of noise, so I thought rather than go around to the summer house I'll record this in a study. I've mentioned quite a few times in recent vlogs that I've got into the habit of going out for an early morning walk, and sometimes the sight of the rising sun is actually beautiful. It's lovely to be out there in the quietness of the early morning. Often I walk down the road, just down perhaps a couple of 100 yards is a car sale room and garage that does MOTs and stuff, and outside the front of the garage lots of cars that they've got offering for sale, and obviously they need to protect their cars, and so when you walk by overnight or early morning before they open up, a voice comes over a loudspeaker as you walk by. And when I first heard it, I thought, well, who's talking? And it took me a little while to work out what was going on. But obviously, as you walk by, something's triggered and this voice comes over. And the message is this: your activity on site is being monitored by CCTV. Please leave the premises or the police will be called. And the ironic thing is that even when you walk on the pavement, that voice still comes, even though you're not on their premises, and it gets a bit annoying. So I thought one day I just walk on the road, and yet the voice still came, and sometimes I talk back to it and say, I'm not on your premises. But it's a reminder that that we're being watched much of the time. We've got CCTV all over the place, haven't we? And that's rather an interesting thing. And just reflecting on that, I thought back to my early childhood in our house where I lived with my mum and dad and my sisters, and then later my little brother. There was a plaque on the wall. Some of you will have come across it in days gone by, probably not around so much these days, but it said this: Christ is the head of this house, the unseen guest at every meal, the silent listener to every conversation. And as a child, I found that both comforting but also a bit scary. Comforting in that Jesus is with us. He is the unseen guest at every meal. So if you set a spare place, you could just imagine Jesus being there with you. I used to love family meals, especially Sunday morning. We had a special Sunday morning sausages, Hunter's sausages. I don't know if anybody remembers them, but it's good to be around a table with family, and I still enjoy it, that kind of thing, family get-togethers. So there's a comfort side, Jesus is with us, but also a bit of a scary side. He is a silent listener to every conversation, and the truth is that every word we speak, every action that we take is visible in the sight of God. We cannot hide anything from God. In Psalm 139, there's an interesting passage which says, where could I go to escape from you? Where could I get away from your presence? If I went up to heaven, you'd be there. If I lay down in the world of the dead, you would be there. If I flew away beyond the east or lived in the farthest place in the west, you would be there to lead me. You'd be there to help me. I could ask the darkness to hide me, or the light round me to turn into night. But even the darkness is not dark for you. The night is as bright as the day. Darkness and light are the same to you. God is with us always. God does watch over us. God is hurt when we say things that are hurtful or untruthful or damaging. When we act in a way that hurts other people, that hurts God too. I wonder if we really take that on board as we live our lives. Or do we just kind of put to one mind the fact that we are in the very presence of God? Jesus, when he said to his disciples, I will be with you always, he meant it. He is with us by his Spirit. In fact, his Spirit lives in us. So let's try, and I'm speaking to myself as much as anybody, to live in that conscious awareness of the presence of God. That our lifestyle, our behaviours, our words, our actions may be lived out in the reality and knowledge of God's constant presence. God bless you. Thank you so much for listening today.